All right, we're going to go on to the next question. Ralph asked, how badly is Kyle Shanahan going to regret taking Trey Lance over JF1 or Justin Fields? I think this is coming from a Trey Lance guy, a believer. If Trey Lance does not pan out, he is going to be so salty he didn't take Justin.
Does he lose a job over that?
I think he's too good of a... We were talking about this before the pod. I just think he's too good of a coach.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He is too good of a coach, but if you miss on the quarterback and you traded up and you went against the grain of like almost everyone in America.
It's just tough to come back from
you know
it
what
if
I'm saying?
It doesn't.
Like, who in America wanted to take Trey Lance to outside of Shanahan and John
No
Lynch?
one would have. They could have got him later, yeah.
So it's like that raises the eyebrows. But yeah, you're right. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's been in the playoffs a bunch. So it's like, I don't think John Lynch
Who gave the Andy Reid analogy? Was that Hunter? All right.
I mean, I think to be fair, Justin didn't go at 4. He went at 11.
True.
So like they went up, they got a guy at 3.
Agreed.
Bunch of other teams, the Panthers didn't want Justin Fields. They were regretting that. Broncos probably should have taken Justin Fields too. So like, I don't want to say that I put a lot of money on Justin to go at 3. I thought Justin was going to be taken by the Niners and they didn't. So I think that a lot of teams were not on Justin the way that everybody should have been, because we all know that he's going to be fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's like so much as a regret as to just like, maybe everybody was wrong.
That's a good point.
Maybe everybody.
No, I think
I want to hear from a non-bias.
Well, you guys
source.
guys remember. So back from the time, around the time of that draft, I was 100% honest. I was very much on the train. Like I think I looked at Justin as him as very much like close to being like, like very similar talents. But I think as we always discussed back then, the difference was we know that Justin's already more developed. Justin has a similar skill set. So I guess now you ask yourself then when the draft happened, and you ask yourself now is why didn't they take the guy who already was more polished at doing what they wanted to do, which was run that off the West Coast, get him out of the pocket. That's what really doesn't make a lot of sense about it when you think about it. Is because when you really think about it now, it's like you're like it would make more sense if Trey Lance had fallen to the Bears and they traded up for Trey Lance, and it's like that's our project guy. We're the team that is going to take while they get good. Versus it really doesn't make a lot of sense where the Niners were already really good. They take the project guy. It really doesn't make a lot of sense when you think about it. Like, honestly, the more and more you think about it, it really doesn't make a ton of sense.
Do you think Kyle...
And that's why to your point, bro, about Tyler, about Shanahan, that's the point. Shanahan's a great coach, but decision-making is the part of being a coach. If we look at his decision-making skills after, if in a few years, if Trey doesn't take them to the NFC chip, I feel like do you think look at his decision-making skills almost like you can't even trust him?
Some people just get like almost like enamored with this like ability to like you guys said, go against the grain and be like, I want this project and I want to prove to people that like I made this like decision and a lot of people don't agree with it, but I'm willing to take on the project. And like some people are just like kind of weird like
smartest guy in the room syndrome.
Yeah, where it's like, I see this and no one else is really looking at it. And I want to have the fact that I just want the ability to create my own quarterback pretty much. And like develop this guy. I know he's a project. I know he's not that polished right now, but I'm willing to take on that project. I feel like that's like kind of what it was with him.
And sometimes it
definitely was.
Being the smartest guy in the room.
It bites you in the ass.
Doesn't really
for
work
sure.
out. And I know I said this on last week's pod, and I don't think you like this take that much about like the FCS level and stuff like that. But in this situation,
no, but I get what you're saying though. I do get what you're saying.
Why would you not take Justin Fields, who's played in plenty of big games, who's played in the Big Ten, over a guy who's played 11 games at North Dakota State? Probably the biggest crowd he's seen is like 40,000. Like he hasn't seen the pressure. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like Justin Fields could do everything that Trey can, and he did it at a higher level in college. And like obviously we're going back to when they picked him. So it's like I would have just taken Fields. It's just like even if I wasn't in Ohio State, I'm gonna look at the tape and I'm gonna say this guy looks better, gets better talent, and shows up in big games.
No, and to Tyler's point also, I'll just throw it out there. Like, you look at it like you're saying, the notoriety they were both going against and all that. Even to the point, look, the 49ers are one of the most valued and touted franchises in the entire league. The history, their history is almost is top 5 easily. So that's the point is, like Justin already was playing great lineage at Ohio State. That is another angle to look at of the whole thing.
We have to move on, but this. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was pondering for a fat minute there. It's just like, I would have taken Justin too, but the thing is, like, Kyle Shanahan could go to a Super Bowl with Jimmy G. Lance doesn't have to be freaking the best. He doesn't have to be Justin. Justin can be better than Lance. Lance can be worse than Justin. And the 49ers still go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And the thing
That's
is,
why
like,
I was so. That's why I wanted to take him in fantasy.
me
a
and
great
Dobbs
point.
are huge Zach Wilson guys, and I'm saying this year that it's going to take Zach Wilson another year because he went to a smaller school. I think this might not be the year for Lance. I think it's too early to tell that like they're really going to regret taking Lance because it's preseason. Like we haven't seen him do anything yet. He hasn't had.
But now
the
that
best
raises
players.
the question: is your roster getting too old when
Well,
he
okay,
hits that?
So
When he hits to be good, and then it's like, oh, your roster's
That's a
gone.
fair
Like,
question.
no,
This is-
Trent Williams
this
is
is
gone.
No,
question.
the Niners are the biggest question mark.
This is,
I mean, they really just might be the biggest question mark in the whole league.
we were gonna move on, but maybe we could just even release this as a different video. But I just want to say two other smaller parts. One, I agree with you wholeheartedly. That's why I want to take him in fantasy, and that's why I was such a believer. And I didn't even realize this when I was hype about Mahomes because it didn't really even click to me. I think we had our fantasy draft. I didn't even know much about Mahomes. Like I knew they picked him early. Didn't know shit about him in college besides he played in like a high scoring offense, blah, blah, blah. But I picked him in fantasy that year because I was like, damn, it's the 8th round. I don't have a quarterback. And I was like, the Chiefs offense was like really good. So, I mean, Patrick Mahomes should at the very least be decent, right? So that was my thought process with Trey Lance too, where it's like he has the weapons around him. He has a great head coach with him, a great offensive mind with him. It's like, how could he be bad? So, and I get it. He didn't look that good. They did extend Jimmy G. So we'll see. But the other point too, it's like the offenses win now. So the logical draft choice would have been Justin. Just from that,
Well, just seeing how he's
that
playing
standpoint
now.
alone.
I mean, good thing he's with you guys. You get my you're gonna get my
Yeah.
point. You're gonna get my point. Just imagine transferring Justin now to the pocket with the Niners with Trent. You see my and
That's an MVP.
You see my
That's
you
an
see my
MVP.
point. Yeah, you see my point.
You don't have to wait to see.
There wouldn't have been much development process. It
Mhm.
would have kind of just been like like that first year would have been the development which obviously he needed. There was some rough moments.
I can't lie.
But he's gonna start going off.
Justin, Debo, Kittle, and Ayuk would have been a swaggy group. Trey Lance with them is
Straight
swaggy, but Justin
But
would
you're
have
gonna
been
have to
raw.
wait to see.
everything happens
if
for a
Trey
reason.
is
Yeah.
gonna be swaggy.
Oh no,
with
I
them.
was talking about just from a
It
sheer
ended up working
swaggy
out.
standpoint.
It's looking like it ended up working out for the Bears.
Yeah,
fans,
no,
man.
I agree.